Yes, pipe smokers. My name is Paul Gilson, and this is the Paul Gilson YouTube pipe channel. Yep, aka Paul the Pipe Guy. So tonight, I wanted to do a video which we're going to have to fit a lot of stuff into a very short period of time. So I'm going to be pausing it and restarting it. I want to dedicate this video. It's on rehydrating tobacco to my good mate who would like to remain anonymous. Now, I had attempted to rehydrate tobacco in the past. I've been unsuccessful. Actually, I was successful, but after talking with this an individual several times about rehydrating tobacco, he gave me his ideas and I put them together with mine, but it's still dedicated to this fine mate of mine. Yeah. So, rehydrating tobacco. Yeah. So, here in upstate New York and Arizona and other dry places, in the wintertime, we get the humidity drops down to like 20%. In fact, right now, it is 30% is the humidity, which if you don't have your tobacco stored properly, you're in trouble. Now, let me show you what I tried as a newbie. All right. I tried, okay, we took this tin and we put it in a Ziploc baggie. That's crumble plug. And still dried out. I tried just storing it right in the tin because I love tin art. Dried out in the wintertime. I tried with my other tins like this. And okay, they dried out. Okay, so they dried out. So what you need to rehydrate tobacco is, first of all, first thing that you're going to need is some dried out tobacco. Now we have right here some Church Warden, 2 ounces from Watch City Cigar and Pipe. I love this. But it's become, even in this baggie that they sent it, a Ziploc baggie, it's become, I'm almost afraid to take this out. It's like, it used to be the consistency of moist beef jerky. Now, I'm afraid to even mess with it. It's just going to crumble. So what do you need to rehydrate your tobacco? You're going to need a few things. First thing that you're going to need is dried out tobacco where you're not happy with the moisture content. The second thing that you're going to need, and this is imperative, you're going to need distilled water only. Not filtered water, not drinking water, distilled water. So that's number 2. All right. Number 3, that is an absolute necessity. Now, I bought these because he said these were the ones that worked for him. These are called rehydration buttons. Okay, they come in a 2-pack. I actually got them off of Amazon. They were a few bucks for 4 of them, and that's what they look like. They're about a little over an inch wide, and I'll even tell you what they are, okay? And I'm not promoting these. This is just what I bought. They are made by EA Carry. I'll just show it to you. Right there. They're made by, actually on Amazon it shows as Pipe Herb and Cigar Pouch Humidity Humidor Moisturer Button Disc Pod. And that's exactly what they look like. In fact, on them it says use cold water only, whatever, because some idiots probably use hot water. That's exactly what they are. That's a button. And it has like a porcelain type of thing. I actually opened up one of these. Yeah, so the next thing that's extremely helpful is one of these. Okay, so if you have a mason jar, all right, and you're doing loose leaf tobacco, all right, this little canning thing is like unbelievable, or you're going to be spilling tobacco all over. That's optional. And always remember, cleanliness, cleanliness, cleanliness. So that means that you wash your hands, you wash your jars out. Oh, by the way, the other thing that you're going to need is mason jars, which ball mason jars is what I suggest. Any type of good canning jar. They come in different sizes. They come in like that size. They come in a medium size. And they come in a quart size, okay? So, those are the things that you're going to need. Now, we're going to pause the video and I want to share some things with you here. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So, the reason why many of you may be wondering why you have to use distilled water only. Distilled water has 0 impurities in it. If you use anything but distilled water, you're going to end up with mold in your tobacco and it's going to be ruined. Just because it's dry doesn't mean that it's ruined. Now, what I personally did, is I took these little buttons, okay, and instead of pouring this out into a coffee cup or whatever, letting these buttons soak, which by the way, you let the buttons soak for 15 to 20 minutes so they fully absorb all that distilled water. But what I came up with is I took a little mason jar and I filled it with just a little bit of water. So instead of using a coffee cup of water, I don't want to dump it back into my gallon of unmolested, with no impurities in it, distilled water. I took a little mason jar and I threw a bunch of discs in there, and you let them soak 15-20 minutes. I throw them in there, and then I kind of do a little shake like that. You can see them in there. There's a couple in there. All right, now the next thing that you do is you prepare the tobacco, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this dried out Watch City Church Warden that I love, okay? I can still smell it, but it is dry as a bone. It is like dry as a bone. So I'm going to put it in this mason jar right here. All right, just like that. So we're going to take this and we are going to put it in like so. And then I have a couple other pieces here. I'm going to pause the video to save time while I do this. Okay, so we're back. There's one thing that I forgot, one step I forgot to show you. So on my table here, I have a cutting board so I don't wreck the table. If you're married, the wife is going to be extremely upset if you wreck the table. So I have a little teaspoon here. These have been soaking for about 20 minutes, half hour. It doesn't matter. You can let them soak overnight. These have been soaking for like 3 days. So what I'll do, I'll take my little teaspoon right here. All right. And I'll take one out. Then what I do is I take it with clean hands and I shake the excess water out of it. Then what I do is I take a sterile napkin and I dry it off. You do not want 1 drop of water to touch your tobacco, okay, especially aromatic tobacco. So you want the outside fully dried off. There's no drops on this. We're going to shake it one more time for good luck. All right, so inside that little disc is hydrated. All you want is water vapor that's coming out of this being absorbed into the tobacco, okay? So what we're going to do with this type of tobacco or plug tobacco, okay? This is almost kind of like plug tobacco. It's sliced. So we're going to drop a couple of these in first. All right. So we're shaking all the water off. We've dried them all off, so there's not one little drop that's going to get into the tobacco. We just want water vapor. I'm going to throw 2 of those in the bottom. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to load up this, all right? And we're going to pause the video again. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So now I've loaded all of that Watch City in there, the church warden that I love so much. I put 2 discs in the bottom. I put 2 of the slices in there. I put 1 disc in between. I put 1 disc on top, all right? Now there's different ways that I found to rehydrate this tobacco. So I have 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 discs in there. That's all we need to do, as long as they are dry as a bone to the touch. Then we just take the mason jar top, all right, and we put it on firmly. All right. Now, the other thing, what you want to do, all right, find an area where you're going to let this sit. If you're doing multiple batches, you're not going to remember, okay, what is what. And there's nothing worse than rehydrating tobacco and saying, that's great, but I can't remember what tobacco it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it right on top, all right, and I'm going to set it upstairs. Now, what I'll do is I'll let that sit for 3 or 4 days, all right? And I've learned that rehydrating loose leaf tobacco, which would be like this, that's loose leaf ribbon cut, or let's say we've got some Loch Ness plug tobacco over here. We've got some Bengal slices, all right. All of these are done differently. So I'll let this sit for probably 3 days. Then what I'll do, I'll open it up, very quickly take the tobacco out. I'll take these out. If they feel light, like there's no moisture in them, I mean, just keep a new one out or whatever. And so every 3 days or so, I'll re-soak these. Then do the same process I just showed you. But make sure you don't forget. Now, at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel that sticker off. After this is all hydrated the way I want it, I'm going to put that sticker around there. Or you can actually buy canning jar stickers like this, okay? You can write the date on it, what it is. I'm very particular about dates and all of that stuff. This Watch City stuff I bought in January of 2021. All right, so I want to know how old that tobacco is and so forth. We're getting a little off course here. All right, we're going to pause the video and then I want to show you some results. Okay, we're back. I know this is going on a long time, but like I said, you've got a bunch of different types of tobacco to, rehydrate. I'm trying to cover, 3 of the different ones. I'm trying to cover ribbon cut, all right, which would be this, okay? So basically I had this tobacco right here, some Edward G. Robinson pipe tobacco, and I'd put it in a baggie like so. Thought it was going to be fine, put it back in the tin, figured it'd be fine. No, dry as bone. So what I did is I took the Edward G. Robinson, all right. Now, with the loose leaf, I did a little different thing, okay? What I did is I started out with 3 of these little medallions, 3 of these, well, you know what they are. And so what I did is I poured the tobacco in, and I'm going to demonstrate that. And then I set 2 or 3 of these on top. I waited a couple of days. I took these out. They felt a little light because it had sucked up all the moisture out of them. So what did I do? All right. I took those out because I don't want to mix them up in my blend. And then I shook it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. All right. And then what I did is I re-soaked those little medallions, hydrometer medallions, and I put them back on top for loose leaf. Now, this has been doing that for like 5 days. That is moist. Not quite up to par with what I want, okay? But it'll get there, all right? And so the second type of tobacco I did some bangle slices, which I love. And I've got like a million tins of this, all right? But I didn't want to open up another one. So I did what I just showed you with Watch City. Where is it? Here. Yeah, with the church warden. I did exactly that, all right, with my first demonstration. And let's open the tin up, all right? Here again, 3-4 days, I would remove the tobacco very quickly. I already had some extras of those hydrating disc soaking, and guess what? This went from like dry tree bark to moist beef jerky. I'm talking, this is done. This is done. But what I did is I set it on there. I didn't feel like peeling the label off, and I just set this on top. So I know what it is, all right? Now, the third one is this Loch Ness, which is plug tobacco. That takes a lot longer to hydrate. So we have Loch Ness plug in here, which I love. I have several tins of this. Didn't want to open up another one. Did the same thing. I put a couple of those hydration medallions on the bottom, couple on the top, all right? 3-4 days later, I took the medallions out, re-soaked them for like 20 minutes, and put a couple on the bottom, couple on the top, and this is really starting to get nice. Plug tobacco is going to take the longest. It may take 2 or 3 weeks. Anyways, and then, of course, I set that on top of my jar so I know what the heck it is. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. We've gone on for 18 minutes. I hope this video was worth your time. I do want to show you one thing before we go. We're going to pause the video. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So this video's gone on long enough. I thought about doing 3 different videos on how to rehydrate loose leaf tobacco, how to rehydrate like bangle slices, and how to, rehydrate plug. I figured I'd just do it all in one shot. So this is why you want this little canning thing, which is cheap, okay? You take that. So instead of trying to put it all in that one little hole, you can just take this like so and dump her right in there like that. It gives you a lot bigger, wider opening. You can see I'm not spilling any of it. All right. And then what I'm going to do, and don't cross-contaminate your tobacco, I'm going to take 3 discs. I'm going to put them on top. 2, 3. I'm going to cap it. And in 3 days, I'm going to take those discs off this ribbon cut tobacco. I'm going to re-soak them, all right? And then while they're soaking for 20 minutes, I'm going to shake that up so it mixes the tobacco up. We've gone on long enough, 20 minutes. That's what you need. That's what you need. Distilled water, dried tobacco, and a mason ball jar. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Thank you so much to my good friend for sharing all of your information. And I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York in the United States of America. Yeah, it's the 13th of November. Yeah, it's getting dry. Over and out. Hope you liked the video.